this so I can put it on YouTube. I can't play any music in the background because when I do, they say it's a copyright infringement and blah blah blah. And I had to change one of my other videos because it had music in it. So anyway, I'm. Oh, you can't see me. I'm gonna have to take you down. Hi, I'm Lori. I'm a little disorganized right now, but we're getting there. This is beginner's yoga, and I'm glad you could join me and Penelope, my beautiful kitty cat, for this session of yoga. And like I said at the beginning, and I'll state it again, one, um, you'll need a comfortable place on the floor to do these poses. You'll need to wear comfortable clothing, and you'll need to be able to do the poses. And if they hurt, you need to stop. So if you feel any pain, stop, back up. So if we're going down like this, and that's all the farther you can go down, that's okay. You don't have to touch your nose to the floor or anything. It's where you're at is where you're at, and that's all right. So, with all that out of the way, let's get into our yoga seat. And so, like I said before, if you need a bolster, you can use a bolster or a pillow or blankets or anything that you need. And that goes for all the poses. If you have trouble with any of the poses and you have any props to help you, that's perfectly fine. So your legs are supposed to be flat on the ground. And when I'm on here, they are. They are. and but usually I don't use the bolster. I'm going to use it this time. And so we're in our yoga seat. We have our legs crossed. We have our back straight, shoulders down, head straight on. And then we can do several things with our hands. We can hold them at the heart center like this. We can fold them like this into our laps, or we can put them somewhere along our legs. But we're going to do some deep breathing and um, find our seat, find ourselves in our body, and stay there with our body. See what our body is telling us. So we're going to take long inhalations in and then breathe long exhalations out. And you can breathe through your nose out or through your mouth, however it helps you to do it. So let's get started. When we sit in our yoga seat, we want to be comfortable. We want to be able to stay here for a while. If anything is uncomfortable, then we need to do some adjustments to make it more comfortable. And you need to be scanning your body, what hurts, what doesn't hurt, what's going on with your body. Because yoga is joining your breath and your body and your mind all together in one place. We're going to be mindful of our breath, mindful of our body, and take long breaths in and out. How does that feel? Feel pretty good? I'm using the yoga cards I showed last week. They help me just to remember the sequence of the poses that I'm going in order of. And I'm going to do the same thing as I did last week, or pretty close to the same thing. Um, one of the things about yoga that a lot of times, it's all about the breath and breathing through the pose and breathing out the pose. And when you take long, slow breaths in and out, you're telling your body everything's okay, calm down, everything's okay. And so it's important that we do the breath right. And one of the things to do when you're doing an inhalation is you want your lungs to get all filled up, and then it pushes down your diaphragm and it makes your tummy stick out. That's perfectly fine. So we're going to do some belly breaths here. And when you do the long, slow inhalation in, your lungs are going to fill up, your diaphragm's going to push down, and your tummy's going to come out. And that's why we're going to have our hands here, because we want to feel those things happening. So let's begin. Out goes the stress. So hopefully you can feel that. You can feel that movement of the diaphragm going down and pushing your belly out. Very helpful. Now we're going to do some neck rolls, and we're going to do this extremely slowly. You're not going to rip your head around. You're going to go slowly down, and then to the side, and then back to the other side, and then down. So let's do that again, very slowly. One more. Mm-hmm. Now let's go the other direction. That's a little bit harder. For me, it is. Remember to go slowly, slowly. Feel how this feels to your neck. What is your neck saying about this? Hmm. We're just being with ourselves, observing our neck with our mind's eye. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So now we're going to do some shoulder rolls. You go down, up to your ears, back, shoulder blades back, down, up, back, down, up, back, down, up, back, down. Let's do that with some breathing. Now let's go the other way. So we're going to go down, back, around, down, back, around, down. I have to tell myself how to do this. Breathing. Feel your shoulders. How do they feel? And now we're going to do some side stretches. And let me see. You want to put your leg out this way, and your other foot stays in this way. Okay, so your leg is straight. This leg is tucked in, close to your thigh. You're going to be sitting up straight. Your shoulders are down. And we're going to lean over. And breathe. And I did that for 3 breaths, but if you want to, you can only do it for 2, if that's good enough for you, or even 1. 1, build up to 2, 2, build up to 3. Yes. So we're going to do it one more time. My shoulders are square. You should feel it right here. There's a lot of stretching right in that area, right here. Back up. Now let's do the other side. So this foot goes in, that foot goes out. Let me scoot over a little bit. Yeah. This is by your thigh. Your leg is straight. All right. This side is harder for me because I'm right-handed. I mean, it's easier for me to go to the right, but left is a little bit more difficult. And breathe. And back up. If your leg is bothering you, maybe you can bring it in if that's better for you. So any combinations you need to do, that's perfectly fine. And let's bend over one more time. And breathe, keep your shoulders broad. And back up. Okay. And go back to our seated posture, our yoga seat. Now we're going to do some twists of our spine. So take your hand and put it on the back of your knee like so, and your other arm is going to go back behind you, and you're going to do a gentle twist, turning your shoulders to the opposite, or the way you're turning. And breathe. And come back. Let's sit. Feel how that feels. do a lot of checking in and a lot of breathing because it helps me calm down. It helps me think, okay, I'm here now, I'm here in my body. This is how it feels, it's okay. Which I think is why yoga is good for people's mental health, because it's a slowing down process. So the other side, put your hand here on this side of the knee and take your arm back. Try to keep your shoulders broad. Face this way and let's breathe. And then back to center. Mm. Mm-hmm. Let's do one more time. This side. Mm-hmm. Back to center. Kitty, what's going on, Kitty? Breathe. Mm-hmm. She says, I'm going to ignore you. All right. Now we're going to stretch the spine up. So we want our hands to go up into the air and clasp them overhead. You can't see this from the pose, but clasp them overhead. And if this is too much, then you can bend your arms forward and do it like this. But this elongates the spine, puts a lot of space between your vertebrae. And you're tall, majestic, wonderful. Let's do some breathing. And down. Mm-hmm. And one more time. Hands up, overhead. Clasp your fingers together. Keep a straight spine. Arms up or to the side like this in front of you. However it works best for you. And let's breathe. And arms down. Mm-hmm. One more time. Up, overhead. Clasp the hands. Long, tall spine. Lots of space between the vertebrae. Tall, majestic. Breathe. Hands down. Come back to center. Sit a while. Feel your spinal cord. Feel the bones. Feel your body. How does that feel? Is that good? You've been moving it all around. When you move your joints and your muscles and your tendons and what have you, you're squeezing all the blood and air out and then letting it all come back in, and it's all fresh and renewed blood with lots of oxygen and nutrients, and it's good for you. Okay, here we go. These are forward folds. You want to have your legs straight out in front of you, and I'm going to do this sideways. And I'm going to tell you that I cannot touch my nose to my knees. I probably never ever will be able to, but that's okay. Go as far as you can go and be comfortable. You don't want to slouch your back. You want your back straight as you go forward. You're stretching in here. And if you have tight hamstrings or if you have tight muscles back here, it's going to be really hard to do this. So just do the best you can. Don't beat yourself up. Just do what you can do. Go where you can feel comfortable and then do your breathing. And back up. Spine straight. And again, fold down. Maybe you can fold a little bit farther. Maybe. It's okay if you can. My kitty's playing with something. Just playing with. So, if you're like me, that is a hard one to do. I'm super tight back here, and it just doesn't want to give. Now, I say that, and I really shouldn't. But one of these days, I will be able to fold forward if I keep working on it. But when you see all these young, thin women that just whoop, like, I can't do that. That's okay. Most yogis don't know how to do all the asanas or postures perfectly. You just do what you do good, and you work on what you're not so great at. Might want to shake your legs out. Okay. All right, so now we're going to do some standing up. And we're going to try to do some tree. And tree, you stand up straight. And you're going to put your leg up against your other leg like this. Use your arms to balance, and then when you can, bring them to your heart or bring them overhead. And you can't see that I'm doing that because, but my arms are up over my head. This is tree. If you want a wall to be by so that you can grab hold of it in case you get unsteady, that's fine, or a chair, something that won't move, and that can bear your weight. You happen to need to lean on it. Now, your leg is supposed to go all the way up, but I don't expect that. I'm not going to do that. And now the other side. And if you're like me, one side is easier than the other. That's okay. Use your arms to balance. Balance, and then bring your arms to your heart, or you can bring them up overhead. Stand tall like a tree. Breathe. I dropped my pen down there, and that's what she's playing with. Good. Practicing that is going to help you with your balance, and you will not be so unsteady as you get older, especially women. As you get older, falling, it can be a real danger. And so stabilization exercises, balancing exercises, those are very good for you. I had a drink of tea there. I have this wonderful tea that I just love. It's spicy cinnamon tea, no sugar, but it tastes sweet because of the cinnamon. And I put some of that in the some of those tea bags in with the water, and I let it set for a while, and it just tastes wonderful. So now I'm going to do a back bend, but since it's hard to see me, I'll probably just do it down here and see if I can do it. You want to bend. So, okay, let's be in our yoga seat here. And then we're going to put our arms behind us, right? Get a stable base going there. And then put your head back gently and arch your back. And breathe. I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to go see what this kitty's doing. It sounds like she's making noises that make me suspicious. Baby, you can't do it. It's okay. Here, stay up here. Okay, let's get back into the pose. And then when you come back up, observe how you feel. How does your spine feel? And breathe. Okay, and let's do it one more time. Put your hands behind you. Make yourself very stable. Widen your fingers out because you want a base there to hold you. Arch your back. Breathe. And up. Cat's wigging out. All right. So now we're going to do forward bends. So again, we're standing up. with our legs a little bit apart. Our spine is straight. Our shoulders are down. I'm sorry you can't see the whole of me. And then you just bend from the waist down. And I like to put my hands behind my back, but you can put them like this. And if you can only bend down this far, that's fine. No problem. But I like to put my arms behind and then just breathe. You don't want your legs to be hyperextended. You want your knees a little bit bent, just a little bit. It's too much pressure on your knees if they're just like rigid. And back up. One more time. We're bending at the waist. Our knees are not hyper rigid. They're kind of a little flexible down there. And go forward as far as we can go. Not too far, not too far. If you can't do it too far, don't do it too far. Don't hurt yourself. And when you get to a place where you're comfortable, stop. Attend to your body. Feel how your body feels and breathe. And back up. Kitty, what do you think you're doing? Are you playing? Okay. Now we're going to do some nice poses that are not so hard. This is a pose called child. And so get like this. Your feet can be a little bit further apart. And then you just go down and make sure your knee or your heel is on either side. You're making yourself a little seat for cushion for your butt, right? Right. And this is child. And from here, we fold down, touch the ground with our forehead, and put our arms out behind us and just rest. This is a restorative pose. So we're just going to stay here and rest and breathe. Okay. And the last pose for today. Let me see what time it is. Yeah. Last pose. This is going a little bit long. So the last pose is going to be corpse pose. So you're going to be a corpse, right? You're going to lay flat on your back, and it's a restorative pose. You just relax. You have your hands up like this, a little bit apart from your body. Your feet just fall out, and you just breathe and close your eyes and relax. This is a relaxation pose. Think about all the work you've done with your body tonight, how kind you've been to yourself. You've taken the time to take care of yourself, and that's a great thing. And so when you're ready, you can come out. You can stay there for a while if you want to. You can stay there for 5 minutes if you need to. But I'm running over, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. Thank you so much for coming and staying with me and working out with me. I appreciate it, and I hope to see you next week. Bye.